Last year, many ambitious YouTubers went to Maro's place, specifically to jumpstart their YouTube career, and amongst them was Kimanzi, now better known as Royal Kim. When he first came to Maro's place, he had absolutely nothing except for his life belongings in a Nigerian bag.
What is in your heart? Like, what do you want me to help you with? You know, at least how she told me she wants subscribers.
Sure.
So at least I know what she wants. And you? Like, what's in your heart?
You know, when I was visualizing all this,
Yeah.
the thing that I desired the most in my heart,
Yeah.
I wanted to be part of the future of this dream.
However, his resilience is definitely unmatched. Since then, he has been able to acquire land, build a simple cabin, and lead a minimalistic but very satisfactory life.
Hey, Felix, welcome to my farm.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll be taking you around the cabin, okay?
Yeah.
In this video, I talked to him, finding out more about his cabin and the real cost of living such a life. You can introduce yourself, and then what you do,
Yeah.
like who are you, what you do, and then something interesting about you and your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just start with that first.
Okay, hello, people of the world. This is Royal Kim. That is my social media name. And I always tell people in my channel, Royal Kim is KHEEM. And I'm a YouTuber, actually a full-time content creator. And as of now, I specialize with creating content in the off-grid. I have a cabin that is right behind me. It has a name too. It's called Sunrise Cabin, the Sunrise Cabin, yeah. And but now my official names are Raphael Kimanzi Kimonde. I'm a Kamba from Kitui County, but now I'm on one very far end of Kenya from my place, Migori County, Nyabo Anse. Yes, and this is where I do YouTube. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can then go to so like growing up, did you ever think that one day you're going to live this kind of life?
No, I knew I was gonna be a pilot, you know. I knew I was going to be a pilot or a doctor or anything, but Nairobi made it happen, you know.
Okay.
I mean, I remember the first, after doing Form 4,
Yeah.
I really wanted to just get that B+ and above, you know.
Yeah.
You know, go to the university, but unfortunately, I fall in the category of the C grade. I never got the B, end of the B. I did Form 4 twice. I repeated again. I did my first Form 4 in the year 2014. I repeated Form 3 term 3 2015. Then 2016, Matiang'i time, I did the exam again. Yeah, so I knew I was just gonna be a corporate guy and stuff. But this happened in the year 2017, 2018. I started loving digital creation. I started loving film production. I started actually wanting to be a film producer. I remember doing a course in video editing in Maradaima, Nairobi, in a school called NIST, Nairobi Institute of Software Development and stuff. Then again, graphic design. And then 2020 now, during COVID, oh my God, the digital revolution happened. Everyone opened a YouTube channel. So I had this channel in Nairobi for like 2020, 21, 22, and then 2023, when I made the decision to come to this village where actually we have a lot of YouTubers. This is when now I started doing YouTube like full time. I never knew I would be a YouTuber. I just knew that I was going to be someone with a black car, you know, a doctor or something. Yeah.
Black car was your perfect choice, eh? Perfect choice.
Yeah.
Color for a vehicle. Eh?
Yeah, for sure.
What do you like about the village so far?
I love everything, especially the nature, the environment, because from my place, we don't have this. I come from maybe not the dry most place, but one of the dry areas in Kenya.
Yeah.
You know, Kitui County.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love the environment because, to be honest, bro, I never got a chance to grow a banana. Like, see it grow. This is our banana in our compound. I never got that chance. But now, I have a banana. I have actually like more than 3 banana plants in my farm. I mean, I love that. And the people, definitely people can be boring sometimes everywhere in the world. But I'm just lucky that I happen to have a few people that we relate, that we are friends. And I also love the fact that the food is in plenty here. Yeah, yeah.
You can't sleep hungry. Eh?
No, you can't sleep hungry.
Royal Kim,
Yeah.
you chose the cabin life.
Mm-hmm.
What inspired this cabin sort of life?
Wow. I mean, again, I'll take you back to during COVID when I was living in Nairobi. I used to love watching these guys in US, Canada, doing off-grid. Because when you're like in an apartment somewhere, you just want to watch someone in nature, someone connecting with nature. So the love was so big. There is a YouTuber called Isabel Page, a very young girl. Remember, she built this cabin in her father's land, a mountain somewhere in the US. And man, bro, I could just wake up at night and watch those videos. When I'm stressed, I just want to go to the house and watch Isabel Page. So even the design of the cabin, I copied from her actually. Only that her cabin doesn't have the porch. It's just the, like the rectangle structure. Yes, so that is where the love of cabin life started. Yeah, but I think apart from the inspiration, I really wanted this. Because even when I came here, a lot of creators here were just building mansions, bungalows. But I was like, no, that's not my thing. Yeah, I want a big house, a good house, but not now. For now, my cabin.
My next question is,
Yeah.
what is the cost of living this way? Could you say it is cheaper than living just the normal standard African way, or it is even more expensive because of house maintenance and so on and so forth?
I mean, this lifestyle.
This lifestyle, the
cost
cabin
of living.
lifestyle, yeah.
Like, let me give you an example with man. It's a good thing to always give, answer with your own life
Experience,
example.
yeah.
In my case here, I don't pay rent, I don't pay water. And I remember there is a day actually, I went to this shop there and there wasn't like onion. I had not planted onions here. So I went down to the river here. There is a lot of onions. So I just plucked onions and I came. So I will say I rarely spend money when it comes to food and survival here. Maybe right now because I have solars and I want to bring in an internet cable, maybe I'll only be spending 2,000 every month for internet in this cabin. Yes. So I will say it's the cheapest life I've ever had. I will say the biggest mistake you can ever make with a cabin or a wooden house is during the foundation. If you don't want the maintenance to be expensive, then do the foundation perfectly. So we followed the procedure of doing a wooden house foundation. And if it's maintenance, I just won't have to paint oil on around my posts, the corner posts, for like twice a year. Bro, I'll go to a garage somewhere, get some oil, like for even 100 or 200. Maybe I can spend less than $3 a year to repaint the foundation. Painting the cabin, you can even go a year without painting it, So I'll say there is no maintenance here. The only secret is when you're building it, the first time when you're laying the foundation, follow the right procedure. This is funny because normally my roaster, I have chicken, the one that wakes me up. It wants to go out. So even if I don't want to wake up from the bed, I have to go out and open that chicken coop. But nowadays, this is what I do because I find my area secure. I leave the chicken coop open when I'm sleeping so that I don't have to wake up to go and open for my roaster. But normally when I wake up, my day is just very normal like an African boy. I'm not living a life that is run by a nap or like a to-do list or stuff. I always know what I want to do because my life is what I document on my channel. And I always know because in the previous video, I've already told people, tomorrow we are doing 1, 2, 3. So even when I'm sleeping, I know tomorrow this is what I'm doing. It's always very normal. I cook normally. Sometimes I don't even cook because I'm a bachelor. I just make some tea or something. Maybe when I go to the market, I can eat in an hotel. And for me, paying 100 for like a plate of ugali and matumbo, intestines, or maybe meat, it's so cheap because I can even do that twice in a week. That's like 200. There is this statement that everyone uses, chasing the bag. In my case, I have not yet made it like many might think. I still want that big money.
I want to ask you, if someone is watching this video and is wondering how much it will cost him or her to have a cabin like this one, or essentially live a life like this one. Can you give a quotation of how much it will cost one to actually live the way you
this
are
life
living?
exactly? I think I can do that.
Yes.
But I'll start with a disclaimer. I've never done like an auditing of exactly the money that I have sent here. But I remember one time checking last year, May,
Yeah.
That was last year, May.
Yeah.
I was checking the amount of money I had used from February because I started the build up February up to then May. I was checking the statement, the money that has been being spent here.
Yeah.
And then I was like around almost 500,000 Kenyan
Yeah.
shillings. Then I'm like, wait a minute, I can only see timbers. Where did that money go? Bro, like honestly, man, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I was like, and that is when I got scared to even do more evaluation of the money.
Yes.
I've never done since last year, May.
Yeah.
And the land itself, it was 400,000.
Yeah.
Okay, 350 to 400.
Yeah.
There was some cost there. Let's say 400,000.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. But maybe 350. But
Yeah.
there was another 50 there for some other stuff and everything.
Yes.
Let's say 400. So I will say, if you want to achieve this life, number one, you don't need money alone. The biggest cost is you making the decision. Because the biggest cost that is going to go in here is money. Not money, time. Time, bro. You might have the money, but you need time to develop this thing. Because when you leave someone to develop for you within 1 month, they might do some mistakes. But I'll say as a Kenyan, if you have in your pocket, like if you have the land and you have like 250,000 to $500,000, you can build this kind of a farm. Trust me. And sometimes it depends with the place that you're building. The materials might be even cheaper there. For me, when I was building, I was new, so I was getting everything from the hardware store. Then later I was told, you could buy a tree and, cut your own timber. And then I've already bought everything from the hardware. So it depends with how you're building. If you actually try and minimize the cost by using your own trees to cut timber, using your own resource here and there, you might even spend half of what I spent. But I believe anyone with $250,000 to $500,000 Kenyan shillings, with your own land, you can pull up this stuff. I just choose to focus on the brighter side. I tell God I'm grateful for this far. Please give me the energy to conquer the next levels of life. But the challenges, bro, they are like new every day for me. Yeah, new.
Every day.
Every day.
Okay, so would you say that this is the best rural living style ever?
It is not the best. I believe this kind of setup in a place with like many trees can be more better than mine. And there are still other versions of off-grid living. People are even in the off-grid, but with even villas and mansions. And from your villa, big windows, you can see like the entire forest. I believe there are better and better versions of off-grid living. But as of now, this is my best of the best because this is what I'm able to come up with.
I must ask you this question because, when you're living in the rural area, there are skills you need to learn because you do a lot of things by yourself.
Yeah.
So do you have to learn like certain exact skills to be able to live the cabin life?
Not 100%, not really learn everything because personally I don't have the carpentry skills like of building stuff here and there. What I've focused on a lot is knowing how to grow plants, take care of birds like chicken, animals and stuff like that, because if I start learning carpentry, it might be tough, and even the equipment is also another budget. But you don't have to know all the skills to live this kind of lifestyle. You just need to have the zeal and the purpose and the will to do this and say challenge accepted. Just tell your mind challenge accepted, because we learn through challenges. You might not have those skills the first year, but after 5 years of this lifestyle, you know a lot of things,
Yeah. All right. So now that you're living in a rural area in Kenya, you're actually closer to Tanzania.
Yeah, it's just like I can even walk, honestly.
Yes. It's actually closer to Tanzania.
Yeah.
I must ask you this question. How do you then handle medical emergencies? Because you are telling me you recently had some medical issues. How do you handle medical emergencies or any unexpected health concerns? Do you have like something like a health center here in Nyabohanse?
Yes.
How do you go about or around that?
Okay, thank you. That's a good question. Health-wise, we have the home immediate measures, like even having mosquito net in your house. Like earlier you saw in my cabin, I have a mosquito net because of malaria. Another thing is in case of like things that needs like an hospital or maybe doctor's attention. Kenyans have really invested well in the economy. So even apart from the government hospitals, we have many private hospitals in the market here, in Sirare Market, Migori. I mean, you know, Kenyans with investing. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. So, what is the feature of this cabin?
The feature of the cabin is to have not only this as this is actually the first cabin. Our land is a little bit bigger behind there. I purpose to do more other 2 cabins. And I'm also doing like a common center, like a kitchen with an upper area whereby when people visit, can have some time to relax, play games together like pool, table tennis, and a small balcony to take some food or drinks when you're watching the nature. So the purpose is to have this entire center as a relaxational center, somewhere you can come and, you know, like book a cabin, sleep overnight. And I also have something to mix with that is not yet launched officially, but I call it Royal Kim Adventures. My purpose is to have, to be able to provide services like, you know, like even camping, you know, like archery games, you know, like Kutumezi Mishale, and things like we have the best spots here. We have forests. We even have some waterfalls, you know. And my purpose is to, when I have guests, I can even give them a chance to reconnect with nature, you know, things like team building. Like you can come with your friends, like maybe brothers that you haven't been meeting for a long time. Everyone is busy with work, and then when you come here, book the cabins. Then we also provide services like team building as family or as colleagues at work. You can come as colleagues at work. You can come with your girlfriend, your wife. You can come with your friends, something like that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, as we conclude this interview,
Yeah.
Can you talk to the young men who are literally following you,
Yeah.
and they feel like they need your voice?
Yeah.
Just speak to them, tell them anything, just to, you know, raise their hopes high, just
Yeah.
to keep their faith
Yes.
above the bar.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God. Everyone that is watching me now, maybe you knew or maybe you didn't know about me. I have done what I have right now in a span of a year and 2 months. And it wasn't easy because when I started, I had $1. $1 is like 120. By then it used to be 150. And I had to do this because I had no one to go back to. And I had to make it because I'm a man in Africa, in a third world country. And I also don't believe in failing. And I can't imagine I'm living early 20s, I'm crossing over 25, that almost 30, and I have nothing. So what led me into following this path is because I had the potential in this. I had some idea with video editing. I used to be passionate in content creation. So if you're out there and there is something you know God has already made in your heart so far, it might be digital creation, it might be entrepreneurship, it might be anything. And then you're like always postponing. Now the problems comes in when you're like, no, I think I'll do this next year. I think, let me wait until December, then January. That is always our problem. Please stop that. Just wake up today and just end what you're supposed to end. It's not going to be easy, yes, but you have to accept the challenge. You know, every young man or girl watching me out there, please, if you want to change your life, this is the time. You see that moment when you go through a tough situation, then you're like, I think I'm going to now stop everything, quit this and that, and then do focus with what I want to do. And then tomorrow in the morning, after that bitterness disappears, then you just be like, I think yesterday I was just being not myself. I'll wait until December. Please don't do that. Don't do that. Because the biggest drive of your life is your head. The Spirit of God also in your life. You just need to wake up, believe yourself. Please just trust yourself. And don't be that person that friends have to validate what you think about or maybe the idea that you have. Let friends cheer you when you're almost facing your challenges, doing your stuff there. Because when you ask or consult your friends, they'll be like, I don't think whether this is the right time to do this. Can you just wait next year? Or maybe do it? Yes. What you want to do, this is the time, not tomorrow. And put in the work and trust the process. You see me here? Sometimes I also get broke and I have a lot of things I want to do. So we are in the same shoe. Yeah, what I have just done is taking the step of faith and starting. You also start, join me and the rest, we keep fighting. We build this legacy. Yes.